So a term, or I don't know, maybe a phrase that we're hearing and seeing very often these days is science of reading. So I'm guessing we have listeners who are very well versed on that, and we have others who have heard of it and aren't familiar with it. Maybe they're trying to figure out how this is something new and novel, or is it really new and novel? Talk with us about that since you mentioned it. What is the science of reading?
Sure. So, the best way to figure out what the science of reading is, I could give you a long paragraph, and I'll just say it's basically a body of research about reading. So it's not a curriculum, it's not legislation, it's just a body of research about reading. And if our listeners are at your computer or whatever, or your phone, you want to pull out and Google the reading rope. That will give you a diagram that's a great overview of the science of reading. So I'll describe this diagram for you. And if you look it up, you can see it in action. So it shows two strands kind of twirling together. And those two strands represent kind of what I just talked about, the language comprehension and the word recognition. So in that language comprehension strand, you have four more strands. And those four strands are some of the things that I just talked about: background knowledge, vocabulary knowledge, language structure, verbal reasoning, and literacy knowledge. And then under the word recognition, you have those three strands, and that would be the phonological awareness. It's also called phonemic awareness, a decoding and spelling, which would really relate to phonics instruction, and then your sight recognition or your high frequency words. So as those twirl together, as a student becomes more proficient with their language comprehension and their word recognition, they're developing increasingly strategic and increasingly automatic skilled reading, and that leads to fluency. So that's kind of a summary of the science of reading.
Enjoyed this short clip? That was just a sneak peek into a full episode on the Teacher Edition podcast. We are passionate about supporting Christian educators like you. Looking for more inspiration and practical strategies you could use today? Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by BJU Press.